Thank you for joining us on task 8 of data analysis. This task, we have a file of workers that lists the workers' jobs. Now we're going to place formulas in cells B24 to B28 to count how many of each type of worker are employed on the project. So we'll also place a formula that uses both absolute referencing in cells B31 to count the number of employees with less than 5 years experience. And we'll place a formula that uses both absolute referencing in cell B32 to count the number of employees with 10 or more years experience. So let's have a look at this column. We've got, we weren't told to change the width of the column. So we've got names that are not clear, but let's go ahead and adjust this by double clicking the column here and double clicking on this so we can read all of the data, and so that's important to be able to read all of the data. Okay, so let's go and look at the first task, which is a formula in B24 to B28. Let's scroll down to have a look at what those formulas are. Okay, so the number of staff. Now we need the number of directors. So what we can do is to count those numbers in B3 to B21 that contain the word director. The number of directors. So let's put a formula here. So that would be equal. And the formula we're using is a Countif. Countif. So if it is a director, then we will count it. So we're going to look at all of the words that range from, and I'll highlight it, from B3 all the way down to B21. All right, and that is the range. I'll just go down a bit. And that is the range. Now our criteria is we will count it if it is the word director. So let's put in double inverted commas, director, double inverted commas, close bracket, and hit enter. Well, we had one director, and that was in B13. The next one is how many analysts. Now, I'm just going to, if I cut and fill down, place a formula that uses references in cells, well, B31 we haven't got there yet. So let's just now go to, if I was to make this dollar, let's do absolute. I'm going to put $1 here and $1 here. That's from B3. I'd fix it at B and fix it at 20 by putting $1. Now, if I was to copy this down, I will then only need to change the names in each one. So that's all the cells that all have a director. So what I'll do is change this word to analyst. Change this word to engineer. Change this word to programmer. And change this word to sales. Then we don't need to retype the same formula each time. And that is how many of each type of worker employed. Now we're going to put a formula in B31 to count the number of employees with less than 5 years experience. Now here we're going to place that in B31, but we're going to be using column C. So equals, and we will again use a Countif. Now our range are the numbers in column C. So we will highlight from C3 to C21. And our criteria here is if it's less than 5. So in inverted commas, our criteria is we find the less than sign, less than 5, and close brackets. And there were 7 with less than 5. Let's just check. We wanted to use absolute references. So if it's absolute references, we need to place dollar in front of these C and the number in front of 21, $1. That is an absolute reference. Now if I cut and paste that, if I slide that down, then I've got the same formula. It's still referring to C3 to C21, but in this one it needs to be equal to or greater than 10. So we'll put, instead of less than 5, we will put it's got to be greater than or equal to 10. So that's how we represent the maths for this value here. And that is all that this task required us to do. Let's have a look at the formulas. Formulas, show formulas. And you can see all the formulas, and the column's not so wide, but let's revert back to the values. Okay, that is the end of this task, task 8. I look forward to task 9, which we're going to be looking at displaying categories based on their years of experience. But until then, stay happy.